Guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
What's up, guys? Good morning and welcome back to Breakthrough with Lou. It is Monday morning right here, coming to you live from Central Florida. Love Central Florida. Love the weather. So far, thank God, we have not had any hurricane activity yet. God bless Texas. They've already had to deal with it. And so far, we're doing pretty darn good here, and our summer's been pretty decent. So, I got a question for you. Did you ever feel something is just right? Wow, what a concept these days. Did you ever feel that something was just right? Just have a feeling that this is right? Let me ask you a question. Did you ever feel something's wrong and your hair stands up and you're like, there's just something wrong here, something's not working? Were you ever surprised in both instances how right that feeling turned out to be, whether in the short term or whether in the long term? That gut feeling, is there something to it? Is there something to this gut feeling? Heck yes, there is. It's huge. Okay, let me tell you a little story as we get cooking this morning. Hi guys, wouldn't you like to see me on camera? All right, so anyway, you heard my voice. You're good to go, I'm sure. Okay, we don't need to start over. I see your comments. All right, so we are ready to rock and roll here. So there was a story I want to share with you. It's a personal story of when I left Buffalo, New York as a kid. So since I was a little itty bitty kid, I wanted out. I wanted out of Buffalo. I knew it wasn't for me. I wanted to live in Florida. Okay. In my soul, I knew that that's where I was supposed to be. Now, I thought I'd wind up in South Florida. I did not know Central Florida was going to end up being home, but that was okay too. So in Florida, or in Buffalo, things were going really good, really young. As you all know, many of you know, I was on my own, 16, had my own place. You know, really hard work, grit, and, you know, a lot of fun too, but it was a quick grow up experience, and things got good. And you know, I met up with friends of mine and went into business with them, and things were great. And I ended up married really young, and you know, I thought life was going great. And then things went bad real fast. All of it, my whole world kind of went upside down. And I started praying for a sign, you know, God, tell me what I should do here. Do I hang in for all this and try to fix all this, or do I just, you know, start fresh? And one day I got this overwhelming do it flippin' now feeling. I went home, got my things, packed the car, made a phone call, and left for Florida. I just packed it in. I was done. The business had some issues with the business partners, you know, and I didn't just walk out on them. They knew I was going, you know, done with the business at least. The marriage probably walked out on, but that was long overdue. And I headed to Florida. I just knew it was now or never. If I didn't do it, I wouldn't be right here right now talking to you. If I had stayed in Buffalo, I'd probably be a whole lot fatter too. To be honest with you, with the food up there and the mindset and the long winters, wouldn't be as healthy. I certainly wouldn't be as happy. I made a decision, but I knew I had to do it right there and right then and there. In retrospect, it's the best thing I ever did, okay, through thick and thin, because it brings us to right here, right now, today, you and I together, having this conversation, this training on a Monday morning. Wow. How cool is that? Okay. But that was called intuition. Okay. That's what that came from. Now, you might say, you know, sometimes you're right, Coach. I've had gut feelings and I feel a sensation right here in the belly, right here in the heart area, the belly area. But this is where we think. Well, that's what you think. This is where we think. New research has shown that there's neural brain cells, same type of cells in the gut area, and lots of them that we have in our brain. Okay, this is scientific fact here. This is not woo-woo, got a gut feeling or feel something in this. Oh, this is science side of it, is we do have the neurons in their brain-style neurons in our bellies. So what do you think when you have that gut feeling? Do you think it might not think as logically as we do? Thinking is conversation in our head. The gut is intuition, but it's still a form of thinking and feeling in your body, something telling you. It's answering questions from the neurological side, if that makes sense. Okay? So pretty cool. So this has been proven. Okay? It's sort of a seventh sense instinct. Okay? And I'm not getting woo-woo here. Just acknowledging how the brain and the body connects. And let's face it, how many times have your gut feelings been correct when what you thought you had figured out up here was AFU? Think about this. Things that make you go, Tell the truth. How many times were your gut feelings more spot on than your logic? Okay, not always. Once in a while you go, you know what, I had a bad gut feeling about this, turned out good. Or I had a good feeling about this and I got sideswiped. But normally, if you tell the truth, you went into it feeling a little apprehensive. Or you went into it going, this is just the right thing to do. And usually you're right. That's the thing. Follow your intuition. Because I have a kind of interesting twist on what intuition is. Get your Life Boost coffee, y'all. I'm going to leave you links for that. Absolutely phenomenal. The best coffee in the world. All right, so let's teach a little bit here. Let's go through this. Okay? I think that intuition is the answered prayer or the answered sign, depending on how your spiritual beliefs are. Okay? So how do we harness this second brain gut thing? Okay? By listening, by deciding, by having faith, however that is to you, to trust in your own gut feeling, because it is something. Okay, and a gut feeling, this intuition might just be a sign that something needs some attention. I get a gut feeling something's not quite right here. Let me pay attention to this. Let me be prepared. Okay, that might be just a small sign that you need to pay more attention and get some more details. Or it might be an out and outright foreboding that this just don't feel right. Something's wrong. Something's bad here. Okay? Or it might be a feeling of, I just got to run with this. I know this is the right thing. Even though I don't have all the facts, I know this is the right thing. This is a now or never, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, or, you've got to follow along and do this. Now, what do you think of that? I'd love your input on that. Okay. My personal belief is that this is your intuition, Hey, brother man. Oh, yes. Hey, speaking of Texas, I was just talking about you. And I'm looking at the chat instead of at you, AJ. Prayers coming to you, buddy. You doing good there? How's the weather hitting you? How's the weather hitting you out there, guys? We want to make sure you are safe and sound. My intuition is you're going to be all right. But, you guys have been on my mind with that coming your way. So be careful. Be safe. No power. Yikes. Hope you have generators, Bubba. If not, get your butt over here to Florida. I get some generators for you. I know you got generators. I know you're prepared. But, see, guys, gut instinct. I've been thinking about, we're worried about Texas, and there's my friends from Texas chiming in. And thank God you are okay, because that's what's the most important, brother. You let me know if you need anything. So what is your intuition telling you today, guys? Okay. So my belief is this, many times people say that they pray to God, their creator, however you term your God, and they don't know how he answers prayers, So here's one. and a friend years ago who was reading the book The Secret, and comes to me and she goes, Lou, I'm enjoying reading this, but I'm Christian and I just can't wrap my head around the universe thing. And I was like, slow down. Replace the word universe with God as you're reading in your head, and then it should make sense to you, right? And she's like, wow, how cool. She goes, but I still don't know about, how how even prayer works. I'm just, and I said, let me ask you a question. She was married for years and years to her high school sweetheart husband, a good guy, or, maybe a little past high school. But I said, how'd you meet? She goes, well, I prayed about meeting the man of my dreams, and I prayed for him. And I said, right. So Jesus showed up at the door with him wrapped up in a rug and threw him through the door, and he's going, all bound and gagged. And he says, here's your husband. And this guy's going, what the heck is going on here? Why am I being delivered to the... And she laughed and said, no, we met through a church thing. It's like, oh, okay. And she goes, I just knew when I met him that he was the one. And he knew. And I'm like, so your prayer got answered, not by Jesus wrapping him up in a rug and throwing him in the middle of your living room floor and knocking at your door, but by putting you both in an event. And she was like, oh. She goes, and I just knew. And I'm like, yeah, intuition, the answer to the prayer, or to, whoever you pray to, guys. I'm not going to get overly spiritual on you this morning. You know my beliefs. I respect yours if you use a different name for your creator. The fact is, and the reality of it is, most people that believe in a higher power, whether it's the same as who I believe in, most people who have accountability to a higher power are generally better people as far as the way that they run their lives, because there's some accountability. Okay, so whatever you believe in, practice it. Okay, unless it's devil worshiping, then I can dare say do not practice that. So intuition is the way prayers, or putting it out there, is answered, however you do that. So is that not really amazing? Okay, so after all, when was the last time God sent you an email with a direct answer to a prayer or a question, or your creator, or your universe, however you term it? No, that's not the way it happens. You don't get an email from God unless somebody's messing with you, because he doesn't do it that way. But have you ever been on your last string and been praying really hard, and you're going, or and you're just like, I'm out of gas, I have nothing left, I'm at my edge, and all of a sudden a song comes on that inspires you or gives you some guidance, and you go, wow, where'd that come from? Or a friend calls you haven't heard from in a long time and says something to you that gives you the answer. Or you're driving down the road, maybe you're ready to drive off a cliff because you can't handle it anymore, and you see a billboard that says something to you, and you're like, the answer's right there in front of me. And you just know that the intuition, that's the answer. That's your answer. It's your answer to your prayer, to your putting it out there, however you call it. Okay, God, faith, coincidence are all examples of intervention through being open to intuition. When you listen to intuition, whether you feel like I do that it's a message from your creator, whether you feel like it's something in the universe coming together for you, however you term that, when you take the time to listen to intuition, that's your answer to your prayer or to your putting it out there thing. That's how you get answered. Okay? God doesn't show up and rap on your door and throw you in a husband or a wife or anything like that. Or, God, I wish this traffic would get better on I-4. We all did for years. Now traffic is better on I-4. We have express lanes. The project's done. It's this beautiful highway. And now more people moved here. But seriously, were prayers answered in that case? I would say so, but by the labor and the setup of doing it, we didn't wake up one morning and have a brand new I-4. That's not how it works. Okay? This intuition thing is listening. Whether you feel like you're listening to your own self, you feel like you're listening to the universe. I personally think I'm listening to God. Okay, this isn't a sermon this morning, guys. And if I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you, as free as you are to believe as you are, I am as free as I am to believe as I am. I'm not afraid to use the word God. That's kind of a nice broad spectrum because I think a lot of people pray to some sort of God. So I don't want to, and hopefully it doesn't offend anybody. And if it does, too damn bad, because I'm not offended by what your beliefs are, because I will defend yours. Okay, so let's review real quick. What is this intuition thing again? It's a sign that something needs more attention or investigation, possibly. It means if you're going, something feels really right or something doesn't feel quite right about this. Either way, it's a sign that you need to take some sort of action. You need to pay attention. You need to listen. You need to watch. Okay, number 2, it's a sign that something could be very right and you need to not hesitate and miss out. Sometimes the writing's on the wall and you're like, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for. But is it really? So, all right. So, okay, you know it's there. You know what's right. You know this is the right thing to do. You know it's the time. And then you second guess yourself. That's this getting involved. If you know it's the time, do it. You might go, well, I could screw up. Yes, you could. What happens when you screw up? You learn. Okay, that's the cool part of it. You can't lose if you learn. That is the one thing, if you take nothing away from the show this morning, you cannot lose if you learn. But what I was just doing, I saw a few new people pop on. We're going through what intuition can be. Intuition can be a sign that something needs attention or more investigation. It can be a sign that something is very right and you should not miss out and take action right now. Don't hesitate. When you got that feeling, go, do it. It could be a foreboding that something's wrong and you need to maybe investigate that gut feeling and follow that gut feeling that something's really wrong here. Something don't feel right. Something don't look right. Something's going on. Have you ever had that feeling and you go, we're like, damn, I'm glad I was really alert there, because otherwise that person would have come in my business and stolen something. I could tell by their body language. I just had a feeling, or I had a feeling they were going to be disruptive, or I had a feeling. How many times have we done this in life? That this relationship was going to be an absolute nightmare. I knew it going in. What would you go in for? The this was good, or the that was good. We've all done it. We've all been young and crazy. And but seriously, have you ever, the relationships are a great example of this. Or how about the people that, like my friends growing up, that I knew that I used in the example, they just knew. They didn't jerk around too long and go, well, let me doubt this to death and tear it up, and well, we're going to continue to see other people because you're not supposed to just find somebody, and and it worked out great for them. And sometimes people jump into that relationship that they know better than they should not have gotten into. They did it anyway because something was good. I think you can all figure out usually what the case is there. Or there was some sort of commonality. But the reality is you kind of know. If you look back over your history, you can go, I knew better. Glad I did. Glad I didn't. Intuition is kind of a way to bring the future forward. You forward to the future and, kind of meld that in to go, all right. And sometimes you screw up. Okay, that's the other thing. Guess what? You are going to screw up once in a while. You're going to have the wrong sense. You're going to follow the wrong path. But usually you know. That's my whole point. Usually you knew if you were getting into something you shouldn't have. Usually you know if you're on track. And usually you knew if you made a decision right now and ran with something. Hey, would most of you folks out here that are in business for yourself, if you hadn't made one of those intuitive jumps, you still wouldn't be in business for yourself. Okay? And sometimes you might say that was good, bad, or indifferent, or harder. What the heck? The reality is, again, if you try and you fail and learn, you didn't lose. If you try and win, you certainly didn't lose. You won. If you didn't try at all, you definitely lost. Period. Okay? Take that to the bank. And number 4, we're still on what intuition can be and what it is. I believe it's a message from God. It's an answer to a prayer or a question. Okay, you might say, well, my God's name is this and yours is this. Don't matter. It's still a message from God. Or I believe to the universe. If that's your case, that's still your God. Because if you call this universe thing your creator, isn't that still a form of God, folks? But I'm not going to get into that argument on the show unless we want to. Hey, now if you want to get on Collad on Thursday nights, 7:30 p.m. get on Coach Lou After Dark. We can talk about it. That's our new talk show. Really trying to promote it. It's simple to get to. It's clad.live. CLAD.live. Simple. I like simple, guys. You know I'm your simplification coach. So, hey, I know this has gotten pretty deep this morning. Okay? I know this because it gets deep with me. So what is your intuition telling you right now? What is your intuition telling you right now? What are you going to do? You're going to be like, hey, coach is right here. I need to step up. There's this thing it's going to pass me by. Or, oh, man, he's right. I'm down a rabbit hole here because I knew better. Okay, either way. Either you take advantage of a great opportunity in front of you, you get out of a bad opportunity. Whatever the case is, follow your gut right now, okay? So my question is, what are you going to do? You're going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and take action and turn away, or are you going to turn away and wonder what if? Are you going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take action, or are you going to turn away from your intuition and wonder what if, or what if not? Okay? I would much rather hit something head on and try than to always go wonder, what happened? What would have happened? What could have been? Okay? I look back to my story. What if I hadn't left Buffalo? My intuition tells me I'd be fat, unhappy, unhealthy, and financially probably secure because it was a smaller area than Orlando is now, and there wasn't many of what I do, and I could have done good financially there, but I don't think the overall picture would be what it is today. So I'm glad my intuition told me GTFO, okay, and I GTFO'd. But that's the thing. I didn't randomly do that. It was at a point where I was like, my gut's telling me this is what I need to do, what I want to do. Okay? Now you might go, Coach, this is amazing and I'm pumped up and excited, but how do you use this? How do you really follow through and do this stuff? Well, we could stay on the show all day long, and I know you got work to do and other stuff to do, so we're not going to do that. Book a coaching session with me. Discover your real life goals. What can they be? How can you harness this gift of your intuition? How can you start living the life you really want and deserve? We can do this in record time. This isn't like therapy where you got to go through years of it. Let's get on it. Let's make something happen. Okay? I firmly believe in this. Hey, I'm going to be involved in an event soon that's it's going to cost me time, money, stuff like that. That's going to be absolutely amazing. That's going to take to the next level what I can do for you. And my intuition was, I got to be there live. I can't do it virtual. Okay? And it was like, ooh, do I want to spend the money right? It's summer. And I'm like, my gut's telling me I need to be there. Well, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a part of this. So it's like, yeah, I'm stoked. But I could have talked myself out of it for 25 reasons. So I'm telling you, if you're going, oh, I'd really love to have a coaching session with Coach or a few of them, and you're like, yeah, but it's going to cost me a few dollars. I'm not that expensive, guys, so it's not going to, your return is going to be 100-fold. But my whole point to it is if you need help, reach out to me. And if I'm not your coach, reach out to somebody that you feel is going to really get you accountable and get you to follow your intuition and do something. Until you take action, you can't get there. Okay, we are here one time in life. Do you want to arrive at the last day and say, that was absolutely amazing, up, down, sideways? Or are you going to say, wish I shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda? You're going to shoulda all over yourself. Okay, you want to shoulda all over yourself? You want to lay there on your deathbed and go, I wish I had done X, Y, Z. I wish I had been involved with this. I wish I had done this. I wish I had made a difference, but I didn't. because I didn't follow my intuition and my gut and my mission. Intuition can lead to mission. What an idea. What a thought. Hear me on that. Take that to the bank today. Intuition can lead to your mission. That's pretty good. That's not scripted, guys. You can tell I'm not scripted. I have a couple of notes on what I want to make sure I cover so I don't miss stuff. I don't want to get done and go, oh, I wish I had covered that today. But I don't sit there and write this stuff out. I'm not reading you a paragraph. God knows I think you can tell that, because once in a while I go, what word was I just thinking of? But no, truthfully, you got to go from the heart. You got to go from the gut. And, use the brain to make your map work and stuff. But when it comes to the motivation to take action and the ability to make decision, I believe that comes out of here, okay? More than here. Because you can think yourself out of anything. That's why the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule, that comes from Mel Robbins. I didn't create that. She's amazing. It had a great thing in my life. Because every morning, I'm going to share one more thing with you, then I'm going to let you go. Every morning when I go to get in that cold plunge, I have a twofold. I have this thing that takes about 5 seconds that I say. I always say I'm a force for God, I'm a force for good, I'm a gladiator, and I do not negotiate. Sometimes I insert a superlative with an F beginning it between I do not blanking negotiate, and then I go in. That started going into the ice pits and the races to get me to just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 take action, or 5. But then I read Mel's book, the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, and that means on 1 you take action. If you're in a meeting and they ask for input and you have an idea, you don't sit there and think about it for 10 minutes and then somebody else pipes up with your idea and you're going, that SOB took my idea. No, they didn't. You didn't open up your mouth. Okay? These are the things that sometimes you do need a coach for. It's things I need a coach for sometimes. I want to do this show, but I don't want it to be controversial or upset somebody. Well, if I help 99 people and piss off one, oh well. Guess what? My goal is to help as many people as possible. And and even the one that you make mad once in a while, guess what? If you really sat down and talked, you'd probably find some middle ground. All right, so when is it now the time to get the coaching you want? I think it would be the time. Go over to Coach Lou, Coach L-E-W, Coach-Lou. Either one will get you there. Hit the contact form, set up with me. Let's get rocking. Let's get you to the next level, okay? Because I love seeing people get to the next level. Get yourself some Life Boost coffee. I'll leave the links for it. It's absolutely amazing, delicious, cleanest coffee I've ever had in my life. Organic. No bad chemicals. But most of all, Coach Lou. I'm a guy. I love the flavor of food. I will eat pond scum if it tastes good. Whatever it is, as long as it tastes good, I'm in. Well, and it's good for you. But seriously, live with faith, energy, passion, guys. Always live your dreams. And yeah, there it is. That's funny. You guys see on the live streams, you can see me. On the podcast later on, you're like, what in the heck is he doing? On the live stream, you can see he's like, the microphone's in the way. I can't see what I need to click. And I'm trying to do this really cordially and collectively. And you know what? I'm freaking human too, guys. So seriously, on that note, live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. I'll see you on the next roundabout. Hey, show schedule this week. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 7:30, Healthy and Wealthy with Coach Lou. Thursday morning, 7:30 is Small Business Talk with Coach Lou. And then Thursday evening at 7:30 is CLAD, Coach Lou After Dark. That is a call-in radio show. Just go to lou.live, lew.live, and you can see all my shows and tune into the ones you like. But I'd love to hear more from you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you that hung out with me this morning. Be blessed. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams, and I will see you on the next roundabout.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dreams.